Good to have you back on Ghana Sons TV, bright with you as always.
Rose here too.
And I'm Chine, and today's story isn't really about a song at all. It's about a diplomatic mess that's pulled two of our biggest artists into the middle of it.
So let's set the scene because this one's been building for a few days. Back in 2024, Ayra Starr and her team were reportedly denied visas ahead of shows in Johannesburg and Cape Town, and the promoter, Steyn Entertainment, ended up cancelling those dates and refunding fans, saying they tried everything and the visas just never came true. That story sat quietly for a while, but this week it resurfaced hard. Right around the same time, South Africa's Tyla announced she was pulling Lagos off her world tour after backlash from Nigerians over xenophobic attacks on their citizens in South Africa. And today, South Africa's own Consul-General to Nigeria, Professor Moroe, came out and basically said, "Prove it." He told Punch that immigration has no record of any visa application or rejection tied to Ayra Starr or her team, and is asking whoever's making the claim to hand over names and reference numbers so they can actually check. Ro, that's a pretty direct challenge to put out publicly.
It really is. And I think what makes this interesting is that it's not artist versus artist. It's now government versus government, with two massive stars caught in the crossfire. On one side, you've got Nigerian politicians, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and former Governor Adams Oshiomhole, both publicly saying that if it's confirmed Ayra Starr and her team were denied entry, Nigeria should respond with what they're calling reciprocity, meaning tighter scrutiny on South African artists trying to perform in Nigeria. That's a serious escalation from just fan anger online to actual policy language coming from elected officials. And then you flip it around, and South Africa's own Consul-General is saying, "We don't even have a record of this happening, so slow down." Both sides can't be right without more information. And right now, Ayra Starr herself hasn't publicly weighed in on the visa claim at all. Which, honestly, might be the smartest move for an artist who's mid-recovery from surgery and trying to protect a very close album launch. Chine, walk them through where Tyla fits into all this, because her move already happened.
Right, so Tyla's decision to drop Lagos from her tour wasn't made in a vacuum. It came directly out of the same wave of anger over xenophobic and anti-migrant attacks on Nigerians living in South Africa, which some Nigerians felt made a Lagos stop feel tone-deaf, regardless of how much love exists between the two fan bases musically. And that's really the tension underneath this whole story. Nigerian and South African audiences genuinely adore each other's music. Tyla blew up partly because Nigerian playlists and DJs pushed her early, and Ayra Starr has plenty of South African fans too. But music popularity and government relations are two completely separate tracks, and right now the government track is the one causing the damage. Real concerts getting cancelled, real fans losing out on shows over issues that have nothing to do with the artists themselves. I'll be honest, I don't think either Ayra Starr or Tyla asked to be turned into symbols of a diplomatic standoff. They're just the two biggest names caught standing in it when it flared up.
That's the part that gets me too. These are two artists who, under normal circumstances, will probably love collaborating with each other's audiences. And instead, they're stuck as the headline every time this tension spikes.
Exactly. And until someone actually produces those visa reference numbers Moroe's asking for, or South Africa admits there was an error, this is going to keep getting messier before it gets clearer.
So tell us where you land on this. Do you believe the visa denial happened? Or do you think this got blown up online before anyone had the full picture? Let us know in the comments. We're reading everyone.
If you want to stay ahead of everything happening in Ghanaian, Nigerian, and South African music, make sure you subscribed. This is Ghana Songs TV. See you in the next one.